Spinning. We are live. Welcome everybody to the April mid-month Outturn preview tasting. Myself and Lynn Guini.
Howdy ho, everybody.
We've got kind of a low key in the fact that we've only got 4 whiskeys being released tomorrow. We've got all 4 whiskeys with us here tonight. So we'll take a look at those and spend some time there, give you an honest breakdown on those. Really on paper, all 4 really good. I haven't sampled them yet. Lynn, I think you have a habit, or you like to get in there before the live stream and take some notes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I just don't think as quick as you, so I have to plan ahead.
So I do see Mamuka is tuning in, or he was here earlier. He'll probably be back once he gets the live notice. Charlie Byers with multi-casking is here. Jen Currents is tuning in. She's sitting in my living room on the couch over there. Ryan Mercer, Borderlander, Mark JG, Mark Goins is here. And for now, that's all that's commenting, but I'm sure that'll pick up as we get going. Mm-hmm. Lynn, any opening comments? Anything you want to say?
I did a little tasting for a member and got to try our bourbon, a B7.2, and that surprised me. We were all surprised by how much we liked it, so I was pumped. That was, really good. Yeah.
And before we get going in and we forget as well, I would like to mention the May tastings are coming up, which is a preview of the festival bottlings. The emails have come out on that in 10 cities. So if you're watching, I call it the must-attend event of the year. If you only attend one of our tastings, the May tasting is the one to attend. 10 to 12 whiskeys of the festival bottlings will be presented there. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll be down in Tampa hosting that one. If you're in the area, sign up. Early bird tickets are still available. But like I say, I think it's one. Our festival whiskeys are outstanding, and we do the UK does a great job of picking those casks out. But to bring 10 of those in at the tasting, you get to go through all of them. It's just a great experience. It's a great opportunity, and you get early chance to buy those bottles as well. For those that get to attend that tasting, you get first dibs at them before the rest of the membership. So. Yep.
Oh, exciting.
All right. Well, let's get started with the first one. Let me pull up the banner here.
Okay.
And there we go. Lynn, I'll let you introduce while I pour some and show the color.
Okay. So this is Cask number 35.317 under Spicy and Sweet. It is called a balancing act. A balancing act. 9-year. 60.1% ABV in a first fill barrel. Look at that golden blonde. That's like that supermodel Christy Brinkley. Just young and sprightly and gorgeous.
All right. Get back to my comments here. Charlie loves the shirt. Whiskey bourbon, 24. It's a win-win situation right there. All right. Ooh, malty and citrusy.
Oh. Yes.
A little nuttiness on there though too, almost a little peanut.
Yeah. I get that maltiness and that peanut, but I also get like this hit of alcohol where it reminds me of a chick who goes to the bar and doesn't know her limit and she orders like too much vodka teenage, it's got that top note of alcohol coming through. But I would say the base aroma of peanuts and malt is nice.
Almost a little lavender, a little floral.
Oh, I get fresh linen or like that kind of scent.
Yeah. Very nice nose coming out of the glass. Really, I mean, it is. There's a little bit of burn to it, I think, from the ABV and the 9 years as well.
Yeah, but I think I think when it sits in it, it definitely softens out a bit because initially it was more apparent. Yeah. Okay. I have nothing else to say on the aroma.
Well, multicasking is saying it's an Uptown whiskey.
Oh,
You get
I
that
got
reference.
that.
Yeah, little Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
Uptown girl, she'll be living in her.
You can sing, Scott. Oh my god.
That's about it right there. All right, let's get in on this one, Lynn. Cheers.
Okay, cheers.
Mm. 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 Wow, fiery, peppery. That spicy and sweet category here. Ooh, ma'am, that's a burst of flavor. That's the Skittles taste the rainbow of flavors right there. Light oaks.
Mm-hmm. I pick up a little bit that spice for sure, but initially when I had it earlier, it was very, very sweet to me. It had that honey profile, a little bit of rhubarb and strawberry jam on the finish. But there is a faint note for me, a hint of that that weed. I don't know if it's legal on your side of the pond, but for us, we can do crossfade if we wish. Am I allowed to say that?
It is not legal on this side of the pond.
Oh, okay. Just a hint of grassiness.
Yet.
But with
man, that is really rich. Definitely it feels older than 9 years on the palate.
Yeah.
Spicy and sweet, good category here. It is peppery, but there's still those citrus notes, a little bit of floralness, some nuttiness, oak. Really a lot going on. Get some water on this one.
I like that it's quite layered too. Like you said, it tastes older than it is, and I agree with you. I get like blueberry ice cream, a little bit of yogurt, and then Belgian waffles on the finish. So there's a lot going on.
Almost like a blueberry Greek yogurt. It's a little tart, just a little bit of a tartness in there with a little bit of sour.
I think with water it gets spicier, and there's a little bit of mint and papaya for me.
Yeah, turning it fruitier, almost pushing this into like more of a sweet, fruity, mellow profile here instead of spicy and sweet. I think the spiciness is toned down with water. The fruitiness is definitely picking up here. I like the raspberry cheesecake here. It's kind of that Greek yogurt kind of tart.
It went from a little ganja to fresh cut grass on my end. I don't know if you can't say anything on yours.
Ganja. I don't know if I've heard anybody say that in like 15 years.
What? I thought that word is totally brand new in today's lingo.
Oh, maybe it's back. Maybe it's back in style. That's like the old Cheech and Chong days. That's like the 70s ganja. Let's see, I added a little bit more water on this one.
Okay. Interesting. A little bit nutty. It's super dry on the finish, very bone dry. I get from nuts to almost like bitter melon on the finish. Pith of grapefruit.
A little caramel starting to show. Almost a little bit of the char as well. And that maybe that's just that astringency, because I think with water here, it's really getting more astringent. Still a little bit of the spice showing, more fruity. I think this one's handling water really well. I liked it with the first round of water, and even with the second round. I might even just throw a third one on here to see what happens. But
okay. Well, I'll be honest, Scott. I accidentally missed my mouth and poured water all over my pants. And I'm sober, guys. I haven't pre-drammed. I'm just a goofball.
You've been behind the weather a little bit the last couple of streams, and back to full speed, full strength.
Almost 95%, I suppose. I like hearing your take because I think we have different palates. Like for you, you get a little bit more of that sweetness with water. I got the complete opposite. So it was much drier for me with water.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think it did become drier, more stringent, especially on the finish. The peppery notes of spiciness still there, but really the fruit and even turning a little bit more tropical, like you've mentioned, papaya. Those notes. It's almost like they're a little bit more in the melons, a little bit more present with the water compared to when it was neat. So yeah, I mean it's kind of a mix, drier, fruitier, same spicy. But no, good, really good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a great 9-year-old, spicy and sweet. And Distillery 35, we see a lot of sherried casks from them. So it's kind of neat to see just a first fill ex-bourbon barrel from them. So getting a little bit closer look, at the distillery character here with this one. Let's look at tasting notes on the bottle. 35.317, a balancing act.
Okay. Sweet. Oh.
No, go ahead. You got it.
I like hearing you talk.
This is the only bottle I have, so I'll read this one. You can read the next three.
Okay.
Sweet, but also firm with occasional flashes of savoriness. Peppery wood spices and robust cereal notes. A charming and surprising dram. Yeah, savoriness, peppery wood spices. We got all that robust cereal notes, all the maltiness and everything in there. Very nice.
Alrighty. Okay, we're gonna move to the next guy. Okay.
46.147. Let me move my cursor here. Hubble Bubble.
Yes.
A 12-year-old, sweet, fruity, and mellow profile. A little bit darker color on this one. Speyside. This is a double maturation, ex-bourbon hogshead and American oak. Pedro Jimenez hogshead. I think you've got the year. Was this 9 and 3?
Yes. 9 years and an ex-bourbon, 3 years and a PX hogshead. So 55.6% ABV.
Yeah, and you can see that secondary maturation in the Oloroso showing here, or on the Pedro Jimenez showing on the color on this one. But still, a little bit lighter color indicates to me not a sherry bomb here. We'll see how much, and being in the sweet, fruity, mellow profile, let's see how close we are there.
Okay. Plums. And jam. Butter on English bread. I really like the aroma.
I was going to meaty and those notes, but meaty and savory as well. A little salty.
Oh, yeah.
Little leathery.
The
dark fruits.
Yeah, I get some blackberries on the nose. Blackberries with lime and simple syrup.
By the nose, it's surprising this is in the sweet, fruity, mellow profile.
What would you put this into?
Well, it's got the notes of a deep, rich, and dried fruits. Getting all those. Yeah, getting all those dark fruits and the savoriness. All right, let's find out what she's got on the palate.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. Ooh. Okay. I didn't get this flavor earlier.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That this is a lot of deep, rich dried fruits characteristics here. I got a really nice meaty savoriness, almost like Distillery 44, worm tub, sulfury type notes, meaty, chewy, savory.
I get those apricot profile, but also a burst of tropical fruit and peach. And then there's that savoriness that comes out on the finish, like that saltiness that you find on a charcuterie board. Earlier, I had like chestnuts and a little bit of spice, but it was very faint with a little bit of honeydew. But this time around, this is like a buttery, unctuous whiskey in the beginning that leads to a savory finish to me. Mm.
Spicy and dry almost. I think blind on this one. I'm almost leaning Oloroso because of how spicy and dry this is. It's Pedro Jimenez though.
Mm-hmm.
So usually you're going to get kind of that molasses syrupy sweetness with Pedro Jimenez. Maybe that'll start to show here. I'm not necessarily getting that yet.
Mm.
There's a little bit of toffee and some burnt caramel.
Mm-hmm. I get that sweetness.
Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get some water on it.
Okay.
That is tasty. That is, that's borderline deep, rich, dried fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, fruity, mellow kind of. I'm getting some of the tropical notes, some of the sweeter, fruitier notes that you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think with water, I pick up more of the tannins. It starts to come through. That oak comes. There's that cashew, a little bit of that nutty pralines profile. And a little bit of sandalwood on the finish for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sandalwood, a little bit different oak characteristic.
And just a touch of orgeat, which I like.
Of what?
Orgeat?
Orgeat?
Yeah. It's basically like an almond syrup they use typically in like a tiki drink.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is fun. For me, I think this is kind of like Vivali's Four Season. It kind of captures everything. You get to experience a little bit of those wintry notes, fall notes, and then summer and spring all in one. So I'm a fan. I'm into this for sure.
So I'm getting some hints now. The best Pedro Jimenez cask finished whiskey I've ever had. It was a different Pedro. Pedro Jimenez, generally known for kind of that molasses syrupy sweetness, raspberries, things like that. The best one I had was more dark toffee and almost like espresso and chocolate. It was just a gorgeous Pedro Jimenez, and I'm getting some of those flashes, more of that dark, that toffee and coffee, and kind of some of that dark bitter chocolate type notes with it.
Mm-hmm.
That would now sway me towards just that one. It had to be a Pedro Jimenez. I've only had it in a couple of whiskeys, but there's got to be a bodega, whatever type of Pedro Jimenez they're making, that releases some of these notes, because I don't get it in every Pedro Jimenez that I have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I imagine because this one is in a hogshead, which I interpret as an American oak cask that was exposed, that PX was thrown into it, I think gives a little bit of that less tannin-like profile.
Could be. Speaking of, though, I think you mentioned like strawberry rhubarb on the first one. There's some earthy vegetal rhubarbish type notes with this one as well. Kind of more earthy, down to home type sherry. Very nice, man. That's a gorgeous whiskey. Surprising. I mean, not surprising that it's a gorgeous whiskey, but looking at it on paper, when you see 12-year-old sweet, fruity, and mellow, and the double maturation, that's a very intriguing, interesting, delicious whiskey. I
Yeah.
put some more water on it.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I find that the earthiness hits my nasal cavity more with water, where I get maple leaves, which tends to be on that earthy, grassy, kind of fresh cut grass kind of thing happening. Interesting. More like winter spices coming out, like cloves, a little bit of cinnamon, like orange marmalade.
There's some strawberry. I got some strawberry.
Yeah.
This one might confuse me though, blind, because I'm still not getting necessarily some of those distinctive notes that lean me towards Pedro Jimenez, and I almost still think, outside of those flashes that I was getting there every once in a while, still kind of as spicy and dry as it is almost feels more Oloroso to me. But I mean, but then you do get the strawberry and you do get the toffee. I haven't necessarily got any molasses yet, or like a syrupy sweetness even.
I think on the nose it starts to come out into that fall profile where I get lots of speculoos, that kind of cinnamon cookie.
Shortbread.
Yeah.
Ginger snap cookies. I like the orange marmalade. Nice sweetness. Very nice. It actually, like Black Forest Delight just came to mind. I think we even had one that was named Black Forest Delight a while back, but more desserty, fudge, cake, chocolate type notes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Let's give us the notes on that one, Lynn.
Okay. We made a tart marmalade from scorched orange peel and satsumas, then added maple syrup and spices to our Christmas cake mix and served it on waxed oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay. On to the next one.
Little palate cleanser here.
I really enjoyed that one. Okay, next one we have. Did you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
I got it.
Okay.
68.91 to the land of dancing horses. There's a 13-year-old Highland, deep, rich, and dried fruits. Again, a double maturation. Ex-bourbon, I think we just had on our website, ex-bourbon wood, and then a first fill Oloroso. Oloroso hogshead.
Yes.
Pretty close to the last one. I think just a shade darker, probably. Not by much. You're getting into that sherry influenced, more reddish orange color, blood orange kind of.
This smells awesome. I got a lot of strawberry and raspberry jam on this one.
Yeah, dark fruits galore. Almost drying on the nose, oak.
All right. Yeah, that's all I get. It's just a boatload of strawberry jam. Okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't get anything else. What else are you getting?
Well, that's what I'm trying to. I mean, it's definitely a basket of dark fruits. Old oak, old wood. Actually, kind of dusty. I kind of feel like I walked into an old library on the nose.
This really makes me want some toast with lots of butter and jam, obviously. And I'm gonna have that for dinner. Yum, 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 yum.
How about a little balsamic vinegar
Oh yeah.
on the nose? Rich.
I get a little bit of vanilla, Madagascar vanilla. That kind of.
All right.
Tart. Okay.
Ooh.
And
Yeah, the nose a little bit darker, a little bit richer on this one than the previous, but let's find out what she's got on the palate.
It's toasted chestnuts, peanuts, cocoa powder.
This one, deep, rich, dried fruits all over it. Little dry on the finish. Great finish. A great palate mount from start to end.
I would say the previous one was juicy. This one is on that drier side.
Okay.
It definitely, the tannins definitely pull through, but lots of cocoa powder on this.
Cocoa, yeah, cocoa and chocolate and caramels. I got a warm melted caramel up front. Wow. Dark fruits, not sweet, kind of like you mentioned. Definitely more, like dried plums, dates, almonds,
pralines. Yeah.
And let's see, do you have what was it? 10 years in the ex-bourbon, 3 years in first fill Oloroso.
All right, I'm going to add some water in this bad boy.
Compared to the one before, this one definitely it soaks into the gums. I think this is the Oloroso going to work here. This was a nice cask, a lot of influence here from the Oloroso. And it just soaks in, velvety, those dark fruits, chocolates, oak, nuttiness, almost burnt wood.
Yeah, burnt wood, definitely pick burnt wood on the finish. I get coffee cake with water. Just a slight hint of tobacco on the finish.
That one's got a great finish, man. I'm still tasting that one.
Yeah. I'm just getting, a little bit of, just a hint of incense and just fresh macadamia nuts on the finish for this.
I added some water. Let me try it with water. I haven't tried it with water yet. I was taking in the finish from it neat.
I think the sandalwood comes out a lot on the finish with water. I really enjoy the finish because it definitely lingers.
Drier, pepperier, spicier. A little bit of a raspberry. So there's almost like a raspberry reduction sauce, thicker and no sugar added. No, it's not sweet like that. Raisins, golden raisins.
A little bit ginger and nutmeg. I feel like with water, I added more water. There's almost like an essence of beef stew to me. Just a little bit of that beef stew stock, like where it's got carrots and yellow onions. A little bit, I think, a little bit meaty with water.
Yeah. Yeah. Come to it was meaty, neat though too. Let's see. I don't know on water. Well, I think I like this one neat. The first round of water, I just added a second round, but I haven't tasted it yet with it.
Mm.
Neat. This one was really packing a punch. It had a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Water almost kind of seemed to tone some of all that down too much.
Yeah. I think
Leathery.
a little pralines on this one, candied pecans. But I agree with you. I think with water, I mean, having it neat, it had a lot more going on. And with water, it kind of like quiets the flavor down a little bit.
We tried 2 rounds here.
Mm.
It's not. It's still good with water. I actually feel like I'm chewing on a leather bookmark or the old leather cover of a book.
Mm-hmm.
It's dusty. It's leathery.
Mm-hmm.
Old. It's almost like, and it was soaked years ago. That leather book cover had some wine spilled on it.
Mm.
A nice Bordeaux, and
Mm.
it dried, and now you're chewing on it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I think because of that dryness does come out a little bit more where it gets a little bit more on the earthy side. I prefer having it neat. Where I with having it neat, it took me on that plains of like chestnuts and peanuts and a little hint of salt, cocoa powder. It just had a lot more going on, I think. Um,
Yeah, I think I like that one neat too. Oddly, 4 out of 5. Most of our whiskeys, I think I prefer with water generally. That one, I mean, and like I say, it's still good, but I think it really just had a lot more life to it, a lot more spark, neat, and water really just kind of fine tuned it almost too much.
yeah. Hmm.
All right, let's hear those tasting notes.
Okay. Imagine a flamenco tavern, leather boots dancing on a wooden floor, candied orange, manchego, and jamon serrano. That's serrano ham for those who were.
Oh, let me getting ready for our 4th and final dram of the night.
Ooh.
Yep,
As you
only
can tell, I'm super
4.
pumped for this. And as you know, when you're slightly buzzed, you tell the truth. And woo. Yes, baby.
I didn't think that took a slight buzz for you, Lynn.
Oh, just nosing it makes me sweat. It's that hot one. This is like 3 decent.
3.342 beach foam.
Oh, baby.
18-year-old peated Isla, second fill hogshead. I like to see that 18-year-old second fill hogshead. So, and you can see it in the color like I was showing. I mean, there's a little bit of a darker hue here, almost what you'd expect on an 18-year for even a 18-year first fill. So still with a second fill, some nice cask influence on this one. More of a golden honeyed hue here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah. I feel like I just went to Home Depot, but with like some charcuterie board. I can smell like the fresh cut wood, but then there's also golden raisins and honey and a little bit of salt, barbecue. There's a lot happening on the nose.
Well, it's Home Depot. You walked in there and they're cutting wood, and then the saw blade got really hot and was burning.
Some peach Bellini on the nose.
I was gonna say there's a nice honeyed citrus undernote though to it as well. Underneath that peat, that smoke.
Yeah.
I like the peach. It's almost a little bit more even than just citrus, orange or lime.
Mm-hmm.
Peach and apricot.
Yeah. Woo. Have you ever had peach and then prosciutto wrapped around it and it's grilled?
No.
Ah,
Good.
yes, yes, yes.
So a peach, like slices of peach,
Mm-hmm.
wrap it in prosciutto
Mm-hmm.
and grill it.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like something I will definitely try. Any type of a glaze? Would you glaze it with a honey or a
Yeah,
cinnamon sugar?
sure. Can't go wrong.
You're just like, yeah, do all that.
All of it. It does smell like cinnamon now. Honey, cinnamon. I really like the nose.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. I wish I could eat pork. No, I can't anymore, but back in the day when I was into prosciutto, whew, this takes me back to pre hipster Lynn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sip.
All right. No, I like this one on the nose. Actually, it's a little bit more pronounced on the nose than I had expected from a second fill. I kind of expected like it might be tamed down a little bit, but it's not.
Yeah. I would say the nose appears more smoky than the actual flavor itself because I can smell like the saltiness, like burning paper. And on the flavor, I think like that peach, honey, cantaloupe is more present than the smoke itself. The smoke takes a back step. This is one like the fires at the beach pit is like the fire's taming. This is the tail end of a bonfire. I mean,
Well, it's the bonfire, the grill. It's the tail end. There's a little bit more peat even here than I had expected at 18 years.
mm-hmm.
Not this is definitely it's not lightly peated. Peated is a good category here, but
Mm-hmm.
you're at that campfire. It's waning down, and you're grilling some of those peaches, and you're grilling a little bit of pineapple,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
a little bit of a cantaloupe, and a melon. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some really nice, sweet, fruity undertones here to the peat. Probably that second fill, ex bourbon hogshead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get more of that char versus like a salty kind of smoke. um, definitely lots of nectar. A little hint of manchego cheese, but more subtle for that in terms of the savoriness. But yeah, whew, I'm into it.
I'm going through my flavor wheel here. I'm just spinning. I'm thinking nuttiness. Not really getting any nuttiness. No
Mm-hmm.
floral notes. With some of the fruits we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Malt. It is malty, so there's some maltiness showing, or maybe that's even a little bit of like a salty maritime. No, I'd say going there a little bit of a seaweed,
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
almost just like the seaweed wrapper on sushi.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Yeah, I definitely picked that up on the finish. For the bulk of it, I get more that cantaloupe thing going on, and then top notes of smoke. A little bit of the salty brininess comes out in the finish, so it goes
Yeah.
from like charcoal, char, and then
Uh-huh.
salt. Yeah.
As soon as I said sushi, the seaweed wrap on a sushi roll, I could taste a sushi roll with the seaweed wrap, rice,
Yeah.
cucumber, maybe, and then maybe mango, some grilled mango on
Yeah.
it with some salmon or
Mhm.
tuna.
Yeah. Definitely got a little bit of coconut here. What?
I just saw Jen's comment.
Whoa. See what it is. Oh, yes.
You are not allowed to be in heaven because I only have a little sample bottle of that one.
Mm. I'll send more. I'm gonna do some tastings with this one, and then whatever I have left, I'll definitely send more.
Yep, the one that's still available. I was just looking; it's still on the website. The 32 or 33-year-old Distillery 24. If there's whiskey in heaven, I got to name that one.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, but they didn't send me one.
What?
I know, right?
Unbelievable. You should have gotten a 6-pack.
Yeah. That's why you're my favorite, Lynn.
Oh.
You know what?
Yes.
Speaking of favorites, I don't know if I've had any movie quotes tonight.
No.
There's usually something spurs a movie quote or something.
Mm. Anything that comes to mind with this one? Like an action hero of some sort with the beach foam? Liam Neeson? Somebody? No?
I'm thinking. I mean, some quotes came to mind, but that apply to the whiskey.
Mm.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. How's that?
That's a great quote. I really like this one. Huge fan. Oh boy. This is a very sexy whiskey, Maz.
I'll tell you what. I just realized having several sips here.
Mm-hmm.
Love this one. This is a really nice one on the palate. I haven't even added water. I'm going to put some water on this one.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Dance with water. I think it's perfect the way it is.
I know. It is.
Oh, okay. I like it. I like it with water. It gets a little bit punchier. There's a little bit of spice that comes through. It's not overly like spicy, but it adds another layer of sensation on the tongue that makes it really fun.
Let me try it with water.
Mm-hmm. And on the finish, there's a sense of dryness instead of like a pure kind of cantaloupe kind of profile. There's an essence, like an aftertaste of that coming through.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Water is helping that one. I did not expect that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the water dropper over there?
Yeah. Now we get instead of honey, there's more of a simple syrup profile, but then there's also a layer that dryness that pulls through where the oak is coming out. So it's a really fun one.
Now, I don't know if I'm getting anything that I didn't before water, but it really just kind of let everything open up and expand. And the finish, I think, is pushing through a little bit better here with water.
Mm. I think that the smoke becomes more apparent with water, especially on the finish.
Got like a smoked croissant, a smoked bread, a smoked tart.
I've never had smoked bread. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Fucking sorry.
Well, think of it like an oven fired, bread even.
Mm-hmm.
Bread baked in a wood oven.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Olive. I'm getting a little olive juice now. Martini olive, which I really like.
Yeah.
With water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of that salty, briny.
Yes. A little bit of olive bread too, for sure. And then the finish is quite complex, where it gives you that briny olive, and then I get a burst of malt that comes out. So a brioche bread, it lingers on and it makes my mouth water. So then now I'm getting honey. It's a fun dram. I really like this one.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I think the 18 years on this one, we've had a couple over the last year, but the 18 years on this one is really, it's allowing some of these layers and stuff to show. And there's really a lot going on with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Really like the finish and all the notes that we're getting, it makes it feel older,
Mm-hmm.
but the peat level makes it feel younger because there's still, I think, a nice peat at play here for an 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I threw a little bit more water on it, so let's see.
I think on the finish, there's a little bit of prosciutto lingering with water. Let me add more.
Didn't hurt it. Didn't help it.
Yeah.
The second round of water. It was good neat. It was good with one round of water. So
It's a little bit ashier with more water, and it reminds me of Lafroy Carch's 2014, I think, was it was like the yellow one. What is that? Amontillado cask? If you remember?
which one? I'm sorry.
The Lafroy Carch's 2014 edition. I think I have to know.
That's a while back. I don't remember on that far back.
Let's see.
Amontillado. I don't remember a Lafroy Carchis and Amontillado, so it could be.
Well, I could be totally wrong. Now I need to know. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, because it's ashy now. It's more. No, not that. Yeah. Holy crap! This bottle's worth $924 now. And those. Oh, Fino cask.
Oh, the Carchis Fino.
Yeah, 2014.
Well, let's break out those tasty notes on the bottle there, Lynn.
All right.
Let us have it.
Exotic fruits pair with scented and complex threads of peat smoke, coastal freshness, and all manner of citrus and green fruits too. Stunning.
Green fruits?
Yeah. I didn't get any green fruits.
What's a green? Well, what's a green fruit? What do they mean? Do they mean like unripe, or do they mean
like a melon?
Lime, melon? Yeah. Huh.
Mm-hmm. Well, did you have a favorite by any chance in today's tasting?
I don't like to talk about my favorites, but
okay, we won't. Oh,
most people would know.
Oh,
they got to listen. People can tell by our comment or our tasting notes which one's our favorites.
Okay.
This one, I'll tell you what though. Oh no, I can't say anything.
Okay. This one was
all right.
I really like this one.
Definitely. Very nice. Honestly though, blind, I'm gonna be thinking more first fill ex bourbon just because of all those fruity, really that cask influence that you get making those fruity notes.
Mm-hmm.
Second fill, I just kind of would expect some of those notes to be toned down a little bit, but they're really present.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. It's delicious.
Yes. Huge fan.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks to everybody that tuned in. We appreciate it. Remember, go to the SMWSA website or check your emails for those May tastings, the festival preview tastings, 10 to 12 whiskeys at those. It's going to be a good time, and you get first dibs on those bottles to purchase them early. So, and there are 10 cities across the U.S. And Lynn?
I like them all this round. I'm going to say that the last one was my favorite. And the first one I enjoyed because there was a little bit of weed. Yes, Scott. Occasionally I partake because it's legal in California.
All right. Well, like we say on the back of every Scotch Malt Whiskey Society bottle, remember, our whiskeys are not for swigging, glugging, or knocking back. Please drink responsibly. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye. Okay.